So an interesting development. We have several drivers who are going to be starting from the dummy grid. But here is what the grid is going to be. Well, this is what it was. Thomas Strauver will start from pole position alongside will be Bruno Mollers. It was Vinnie Phillips and Ethan Jeff Hall, but they're going to be starting from the pre-grid. Mikkel Pedersen and Tommy van der Stroys. Row number 3. It's going to change to row 2. Janis Stiek and Job Riedveld. Jaden Thien and Luke Neeson. Rafael Renhofer and Tom Bracken. Boluet and Austin Lee. Farin Mega, Charlie Hart. Colin Vajny and Enzo Bol. Ralph van der Peveren and Casper Schomans, followed by Frederick Zebis, Montego Masson, Balas Lantos, William Christensen, Milo Kaskinen, Leon Zelenko, Julian Klausman, Thomas Kans, Aaron Krepsik, Thaman Huben, Gustav Yusakos, Christopher Ornball, William Heldstrand, Valentin Harvas, Devian Rost and Mikey Porter with the 6 drivers that qualified through the second chance heat earlier on this morning. This has quite literally opened the floodgates. So, well, she hasn't been able to do any interviewing today, but Esme Rosman, very interesting developments. But from a driver's perspective, you've been doing some karting yourself personally. What are the drivers thinking right about now?
Well, to be fair, I'm not really sure what they are thinking now. I'm really excited to see what they can do from the back of the grid.
Yep.
Especially with the drivers coming through the second chance heat. They've been driving very well during that heat, and I feel like they really want to fight for the positions. So they can move up altogether, but yeah, they might be very unlucky in the first corner. Who's going to say?
Indeed, the red lights are on the starting gantry. Esme, one final thought from you. If you were in this grid, what would you be thinking right now?
Well, if I went from the first row to starting from the dummy grid, I would be like, ooh.
Yes.
That's not very nice. No, I would be bummed. But there's only one thing they can do right now, and that's look ahead, give everything they have.
Yeah.
That's it for now.
In other words, push the tempo, and that's what we're going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, because we're under starters' orders. Junior Rotax, pre-final about to get underway. It's Belgium versus the Netherlands. Thomas Strauver and Bruno Molders on the front row. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. Are we ready? Full start has been called. So once around they go again. And the nerves are... So a full start was called. And there was no start. Yep, so it was not really a start there. They were putting them round for another lap. And, as myself and Esme designated yesterday, when there's a full start, have a swig of your drink. Cheers. So the driver's getting some well-needed warmth into those tyres. And the biggest thing here, Esme, look at the dry line on the track.
It is quite dry. Yeah.
So that means we're going to be in for some fantastic racing over the next few hours. We are running a little bit behind schedule. However, we will be pushing the tempo. We'll be up to full speed. In the words of Fatboy Slim, it's right here, right now, where these drivers, some of which who have not qualified for the grand finals, have their opportunity. And there is a window of opportunity. It's about who's going to be the one that goes for broke, goes for gold, puts it all on the line as we wait with bated breath. Local time has just gone quarter past 12 here in Central Europe, as the drivers now line up once again for the second time of asking. The Junior Rotax pre-final for the Rotax Max Challenge Euro Golden Trophy. They head into the tram lines once again. The revs start to build. We accelerate. We go this time, lights out. Strauver and Mulders side by side going in, and Mulders round the outside of Strauver heading into turn 2. Tommy van der Stroy is trying to go for the lead. He's up to second already, as we've had a massive turnaround, and that is William Heldstrand from Denmark. But leading the race, it is Bruno Mulders with Tommy van der Stroy hot on the heels in the 2:54 as they head to the Europlan for the first time. Strauver in third place, and van der Stroy is looking to try and get an opportunity to get past, as up the inside of Thomas Strauver goes Denmark's Mikkel Pedersen, but Strauver blocks him. And Pedersen up the inside through turn number 8. Now retakes third position. And oh, touch from Job Breedveld sends the Dutchman spinning. And he's literally having to wait anxiously for everyone to get past.
Too bad for you.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing, these split-second decisions. But I know that Martin van der Stroys will be jumping out of his raincoat at the moment, because Tommy van der Stroys is now leading the 2:59. Gustav Zusarkov's unfortunately out of the pre-final early. And Tommy van der Stroys hits the front of the field. And van der Stroys has been making his way, steady progress, started 16th. Or 15th and 16th in the respective heats he qualified in yesterday. There's Jaden Thien, along with the 275. That's Luke Neeson, and they've just got past Thomas Stauber. There is Austin Lee, who's made his way up from what it is, 14th position. And the 13-year-old from Germany now makes it up into the top 10, gunning for 7th at the moment with, well, he's actually at 9th at the minute, behind, I think, possibly Raphael Renhofer, as the drivers make their way through turn number 10 and through into 11. And at the moment, no penalties for any excursions out of the tram lines on the start. But Tommy van der Stroys has pulled a gap. 6/10 to the better for the 254 from Combi Kart Racing Team, representing the Netherlands. And now he's got to put the pedal to the metal. He's put in the fastest lap of the race, 58.468 from the 254. Bruno Malders, Mikkel Pedersen, Jaden Thien looking up the inside of the Dane, going through into turn 6. And there is Luke Neeson there as well. Thomas Stauber trying to keep on board, and now Austin Lee joins the fight, as does Janis Diak. 2 German drivers at the back end of the field. What a way. This race has absolutely exploded here, Esme, isn't it?
Yeah, you were talking about fireworks yesterday, but we're having fireworks today as well.
Yes, indeed. As they say in the United Kingdom, remember the 5th of November, and that was at qualifying. But here on the 7th of November 2021, it has really gone biblical with the fireworks. Any type you can think of, the big rockets that go up into the skies and shoot off multiple fireworks, the Chinese fireworks that you light off in the middle of the street and they start scaring people. However, there's no one scared here. Everyone is fighting. And now Thomas Stauber having to fight with Austin Lee. Mikkel Pedersen battling away with Luke Neeson, and Austin Lee up the inside of Thomas Stauber. And there goes Janis Diak. Stauber is dropping. Keeping an eye on some of the other drivers now. Ethan Jeff Hall and Vinnie Phillips started from the pre-grid, as there goes Austin Lee up the inside of Mikkel Pedersen. Austin Lee alongside Luke Neeson as he goes sideways on the brakes through into turn 7. Another great performance from Austin Lee. And he's already, that puts him into, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5. And now the hunt is on. Oh, it's side by side between Raphael Renhofer and Janis Stiak coming out of turn 9. Renhofer gets through, but Stiak had 2 wheels touching the grass. And Farin Mega from Germany in the 276, rounding out the top 9. Fastest lap of the race, 57.554, as Austin Lee starts pulling a gap from those behind, which includes Mikkel Pedersen. But Tommy van der Stroys at the moment, Esmir Osman, is doing a fantastic job, leading Bruno Malders by just over 7.5 tenths of a second.
Tommy is looking so steady this race. He has been delivering all weekend. He really, like you said, he climbed up. And I feel like it really has helped him build some confidence.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the race where it might come all together for him. And might secure him a good spot in the finals.
Definitely, if he gets pole for the finals, he'll be one step away from qualifying for the grand finals for Team Netherlands. And then a bet has to be honoured, but we'll get onto that later on. Austin Lee trying to pull away from Mikkel Pedersen in the battle for what is 4th on the road. So Austin Lee up 10 positions, and now we'll start hunting down the top 3. The youngster, just 13 years of age, based out of Eisendorf in Germany. Has both American and Filipino heritage. Last year's RMC Germany champion in Minimax, as Jaden Thien up the inside of Bruno Malders through turn 2 to take 2nd position. Malders on the counter attack, gets through on turn 3. Nice switch back between the pair of them. Great racecraft, great racing respects, and Esme all above all as Jaden Thien goes back up the inside. Clean racing, great respect from these drivers, and that just showcases how competent they are.
Yeah, and that's something I noticed all weekend long.
Yeah.
Of course, I did some interviews, post-race interviews yesterday. And everybody is just so in such a great mood.
Oh, sorry to cut across to you there. That is Boulouet, the young Belgian from Dams Racing. Out of the race, unfortunately. Austin Lee has dropped a couple of positions, but like you say, you've been speaking to some of the drivers this weekend, and it's really good to see how passionate, how motivated they are.
That's it. And of course, there's a lot to win this weekend. I mean, everybody wants to go to Bahrain, but I know, I think they know that at the end of the race, only one can go, and they have so much respect for each other.
That just goes to show how welcoming the family of the Rotax racing family is, as Jaden Thien continues to battle away with Bruno Mulders. Mikkel Pedersen rounds out the top 4. 5th, it is Luke Neeson. 6th, it's Farhan Mega. Thomas Stalver back up into 7th. Austin Lee, in the meantime, running as high as P4 a little bit earlier on, a couple of minutes ago. Now down into 8th place, but still a very, very good work rate from the 2-2-3 out of JJ Racing. Pavel Renhofer and Janis Diak ran at the top 10. Kasper Schormans, Enzo Bol, Ralf van der Pevert, Monty Gomassen and Croatia's Leon Zelenko complete the top 15. We've got just over 4.25 minutes to go, and Tommy van der Stoys has started pulling away from Bruno Mulders. Jaden Thien now, because that gap is now 1.5 seconds. It was 1.8 as there goes Farin Mega up the inside of Luke Neeson. That is the positional change for P5. Thomas Stalver is with that battle, and Austin Lee just has the ringside seat. So he's hopefully going to factor into this as Stalver up the inside of Neeson, going through into turn 6, and now Austin Lee is starting to get a little bit of a slipstream. And the slipstream down here on the Europolan, Esme, very, very important, especially in these kind of close battles. Yeah,
we saw it all weekend. You really have to use the slipstream. It can really make a difference at the end of the Europolan. You can brake very late. Some drivers, from the commentary booth, we can really see the drivers closing in at the end of the Europolan. So it's a really important corner, important part of the track to know.
Exactly, when speeds are approaching 120 kilometers an hour, especially if you are in the tow down the Europolan here at Karting Genk. The lead now is down to 1.3 seconds with just over 3 minutes plus an additional lap to go. Tommy van der Stroys, the youngster from the Netherlands, having first encountered him when he was a Micromax driver, and that was on the same year that Tim Gerhards, who now recently signed for CBP Sport for Sodi Cup for KZ, if memory serves me correctly. If Peter Gerhards, you send me a message and need to correct me, feel free to do so, my friend, but congratulations to him. Tim Gerhards won the Minimax title back in 2019. Tommy van der Stroys won the Micromax title. Tom Bracken is also a former B&L Karting Series title winner, won the same championship and same class as Tommy van der Stroys back in 2018, the first time when I actually was here in the B&L Karting Series back in October 2018. Great shots from what we're seeing on the stream live here on the in the commentary position. But the gap has now started to stagnate. Thomas Stalver, now the fastest out there, 56.461 seconds from the 227, who has also been, who's also collected some silverware this year in the United Kingdom. Jaden Thien holding on to second, soaking up the pressure from Bruno Mulders, and now Mikkel Pedersen. Then in the background, you see the likes of Farin Mega, Thomas Stalver, Luke Neeson, Austin Lee, Janis Diak and Rafael Renhofer round out the top 10. We have had a couple of retirements. Unfortunately, both Boulouet and Gustav Zusakovs will be lining up on the back row of the grid for the final a little bit later on this afternoon. But Esme, Joop Breedveld, having to wait until everyone went past on turn 9, kept his cool, held the brakes, and composed himself. And that's what you've got to do in these kind of situations. You've really got to make sure that you're, as Mulders up the inside for Thien going through into turn 2 on the start of lap number 11. It just goes to show, even with these drivers being the age they are, they've got very mature heads on young shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. And especially Joop, I spoke to him yesterday. He's also from the Netherlands. I'm from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I asked him, so do you want to do the interview in Dutch or in English? And he was very confident. English, yes. And he just stole the show. He was so confident. And now in the race again, of course, getting frustrated won't bring you nowhere.
Exactly.
He knows it. He's very confident. Yesterday spoke to him. He was very mature, very nice guy.
Yeah.
Just wish him all the best.
Yeah, the Yobster, as he's more commonly known between his friends and his fan club. The battle for second rages on as we're under 30 seconds to go, plus an additional lap in the pre-final. Tommy van der Stroys is leading. How big is the gap? It's now 1.3 because Mulders, Pedersen and Thien have been squabbling like three young children in the playground, battling over the last swing. And at the moment, it is Bruno Mulders that is leading that at the minute. Mikkel Pedersen third. Jaden Thien in fourth. Thomas Strauver in fifth. Farin Mega now up the inside of Strauver through turn 6. Pushes the Belgian wide, and Luke Neeson, in he goes and clashes side walls. And Austin Lee has got the ringside seat. Time has hit 0. One more lap after this one. And Tommy van der Stroy is now out of turn number 9. The three behind are trying to close the gap. It was 1.3 seconds between Mulders in second and van der Stroy, who leads the way as Farin Mega leads a 4-kart battle for 5th position. So the last lap board this time will come out, and Tommy van der Stroy looks over his left shoulder, now knows he has a significant advantage as it's Pedersen versus Mulders going into turn 2. They clash! Oh no! Top part of the exhaust goes off of Bruno Mulders' kart, and that gives Jaden Thien second position. Farin Mega manages to get past Mikkel Pedersen around the outside of turn number 3, and here comes Strauver and Austin Lee going through on the inside. Drama has happened right there. Bruno Mulders not having the best run of luck because Mikkel Pedersen was too close for comfort. Austin Lee looking towards the outside to get the switch through. On turn 7, on Thomas Strauver, and that is 4th position. That's for 6 on the road, but Tommy van der Stroy now heading down to turn 10 for what is going to be the 13th and final time. They say that the number 13 is lucky for some, and in the Junior Rotax pre-final, out of the final corner, Tommy van der Stroy takes the checkered flag and wins ahead of Jaden Thien. It's a Dutch 1-2. Make it a Dutch 1-2-3 with Bruno Mulders. Farin Mega in 4th ahead of Thomas Strauver. Austin Lee in 6th. Mikkel Pedersen dropped to 7th as a result of that exchange, with Janis Diak, Rafael Henhofer, Kasper Schulmans rounding out the top 10. Esme, that was one way to finish a race, wasn't it?
That was a clash, yeah.
That was a classic and a clash all at the same time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that just shows how hard these drivers are pushing, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true. Tommy did a great job. Like I said, I really feel like this race, it came all together for him. He was really steady. He had a comfortable lead, and he managed to hold that. So well done by Tommy. Of course, the other drivers, second, third, and fourth position, putting on some great battles. Very entertaining for us. I think also very entertaining for Tommy because he managed to get the lead, to keep the lead because of that. Great race.
Okay, Tommy van der Stroy wins the Junior Rotax pre-final here at the Golden Trophy by 1.3 seconds ahead of Jaden Thien. Bruno Mulders in 3rd, Farin Mega, Thomas Strauver, Austin Lee, Mikkel Pedersen, Janis Diak, Rafael Henhofer, and Kasper Schulmans ran out the top 10. Following that up, rounding out the top 20, it is Enzo Bol, Ralf van der Pevert, the recovering Job Riefveld, Aaron Krebsik, Leon Zelenko, Montego Masson, Ballas Lantos, Vinny Phillips up to 18th from the pre-grid after that one. Good run from him. Milo Kaskinen and Tom Bracken round out the top 20. There's Charlie Hart, Julian Klausmann, Thomas Cass, Mikey Porter, Colin Vashni, Thaman Huben, William Christensen, Christopher Ornball, William Helgstrand, Ethan Jeffel, Frederick Zebis, Valentin Harvas, Devin Rost, Luke Neeson, Boluet, and Gustav Susakovs.